Yo, what is good, everybody? As y'all can see, I got two very special gentlemen here with me today, and we got the Stiller fan slash X-Men 97 hater, Mr.
I ain't a
Chill.
hater. I'm not a hater of the X Men. I actually like the show, but I just disagree with what it is. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. And we got Mr. Ghost himself, the superfood critic. How you doing, sir?
Out in these streets freelancing. Got
I
the windows open. It's a pretty day so far.
It is a very warm day out. I don't like the heat. I'm not fond of the heat. I'm not. I went
That's
outside.
because we're big. That's because we're big guys, right?
That is part of it. But you know what? I always been this way. So even back in the day when I was younger and I was like slimmer, I couldn't stand the heat in any way, shape, or form. And my daughter apparently is here. And yes, you did a great job pitching. I was watching. You did a great job pitching today. Struck a few out. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
Congratulations! It's an awesome feeling being a father, watching your kids take up
Indeed.
sports and and participate and enjoy it. So congratulations to Reggie's daughter. Hope you find success in everything you do when it
I,
comes to sports.
I appreciate that. And the youngest is on her way into sports. So my 6-year-old, I'm about to get her started. Try to get her started as early as possible. She wants to do a little bit of everything right now. We're trying to, narrow it down to just a few because the schedule's already crazy. But she's next. So let's open this up. We talking about sports, right? Oh, we got Mr. Brodney in the building. What's good, B? For those who
We
don't
were
know,
just talking. We were just talking about you, B. We were
we
asking, did you
were
lose
just
a bet?
talking about you. That is one
Because
half
that
of
fresh
WHC right there.
that fresh
Yeah,
cut,
fresh cut. He got it all cleaned up. Looking
I don't like
Professor
it.
Man.
Don't like it. Don't
I gotta
agree.
take notes. I gotta take notes. You know what? I think he looks scarier that way too.
Yeah, he
When
losing
he
a
He
bet.
first
does.
cleaned up.
Oh, he's always looked scary. He always looks like he's gonna shake you down. But
We got Miss Yolanda in the building.
shout out to
Raven
Yolanda.
Cutler
How you
Yolanda.
doing?
Shout out to her. Her show just finished. So if you did not catch it, as soon as we're done here, go watch it on the replay. Fire show. D Weezy in the building. Listen, this is the betting man of all betting men. All right. You need some numbers. Go see my boy D Weezy. He got them for you.
Rodney said he's not scared. You ever see him walk over to you when you know he about to ask you for a trade in fantasy?
Yeah, I've seen them. I've witnessed them do it to other people. It's a
Right.
scary thought. It's a very scary thought. You know what I'm saying? I see the way he approached you at the get together about a trade. I said, something
You ever
about to
see
go down.
Pitbull by the Chihuahua?
He came over looking real serious. I was like, it's about to go down.
Little did you know it was about to go down next to you.
I had to go over there and put an ear to the conversation. Like, what's this? What's going on here? I think the scariest part is that he starts talking to you so calmly. He starts talking to you real calm, kind of like an assassin, like he knows what's about to happen next, and you don't. That's my fear. That's my biggest fear every time somebody come up to you. So, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. I got an offer you can't refuse. That's that mob line. I got an offer you can't refuse. It's fear. That's fear. So, fellas, I'm going to open it up. I want to talk a little bit about the WNBA. Now, for those who don't know, there's only one undefeated team remaining in the WNBA, and that is the Connecticut Sun. I don't know if y'all can see him get a little watery eyed talk about it. We out here dominating. But I don't know if anybody watched the game. It was an absolutely amazing overtime thriller between the Sun and the Lynx. Oh my goodness. I was actually watching it again earlier. It was such a good game. And I don't know if it's just me, but lately, this year, last year, I want to say maybe the year before that too, but definitely this year and last year, I've actually been more into the WNBA than I have the NBA. And I don't know if it's because the NBA is getting too familiar, maybe.
Or your team just sucks.
No, my team was in the playoffs. My team was in the playoffs this year.
I mean,
But,
okay. What does that mean?
Well,
what does that mean?
It's a funny thing because the years prior, when we were worse, I was watching the NBA more. So it's kind of weird.
Bazel, it makes sense. He likes watching bad things, which is why he loves X-Men 97. It all makes sense now.
This is not true. This is not true.
Let's watch every single play of the Ravens season. So,
Bazel, coming from a Ravens fan, how could you say that, sir?
I'm freelance right now. Okay.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You did say you're freelance.
He freelancing on you.
Hey, Brodney, I don't know if they out here dominating, but my team is undefeated. B said his Sky is out here dominating.
I mean, they beat the Liberty pretty bad. Not very bad. No, sorry, I take that back. They beat the Liberty and look good doing it. Yeah, so you got to give them props. You can't say they're not. They're looking really good, and they're missing one of their key players.
They definitely looking good. I'm just saying they're not dominating. Like he said, dominating. They looking good. They're looking really good. We got to get them on the schedule. Are we paired up at all anytime soon? Are we playing each other? I'm going to have to check out the schedule real quick.
That should be playing.
Something.
Let's see. Our next game is we got the Sky. We got the Sky.
Which so there you
go.
Yeah. Putting on that. We gonna find out. It's tomorrow, actually.
Hold on. Reg can't make no bets because did we ever see him wear that Pittsburgh Steelers attire?
I haven't. Nobody sent me a picture.
It is on camera. I wore a Pittsburgh shirt on camera.
What, wearing a yellow shirt, even though it's gold, is not Pittsburgh attire.
No, it said Pittsburgh on it.
Pirates? Pittsburgh Pirates?
No, it just said Pittsburgh. I don't.
Oh no! You need Steelers. Steelers.
It was a Steelers tag on it. What am I supposed to do with that?
We need you to wear a Steelers.
It had a Steelers tag on it. That's the whole reason why I bought it. It had the Steelers symbol on the tag. That's the whole reason I bought it. It was the cheapest one I could find. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It was the cheapest one I could find. I don't know why Suge is demanding Steelers gear. He's a Ravens fan too. He's a little more quiet about it though.
I have a Steelers attire. My whole left side of my desk is nothing but Steelers stuff, Rodney. I don't know what you're talking about. These lies and the slander needs to stop, or LBHT will be hearing from my lawyers. I'm just letting you know that, okay?
It's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great game tomorrow night at 8:00. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to watch that game. So, the Sun, outside of the Sun, the Sky, what other teams do you guys got your eyes on in WNBA at this moment?
Liberty, the Sparks have looked good. I mean, realistically, every team right now, attendance is up. Viewing is up. They're and I think a couple of games have outperformed playoff hockey. So I think every team looks. I don't know what it is because I've watched a lot of WNBA games this year now. I think that it just looks like a new product almost. And you see the players that have came in and made a difference. And from the Sky to the Sparks to the Aces, the Liberty. So I think that every team is to watch. Even the bad teams. You want to watch and see what they're doing because you never know what's going to happen. So I think right now WNBA is must watch, and it's very interesting. We said it when we were talking about this last year when we knew this crop of players were going to be coming in. We said the WNBA is going to go up, and it has, and that's just a good thing. So they should be happy and proud. And I think that this is just good. You know, we heard that they're expanding and they get some more teams. You know, so it looks up. Just keep up the games. You know, and keep up the play, and you can see the WNBA really grow, especially with the next crop of players that are about to come in.
Oh, we got a real ghost in the building. Look at this.
The appearance.
A special appearance by Mr. J6.
Like calling Captain Planet.
Referee. Captain Planet.
So, Suge, the talk, you're on point with what you said, right? The WNBA is on the rise. We haven't seen numbers like this for their television or even in attendance at the games like we have this year and last year. And this year's way up from last year. And last year I thought they did pretty well, at least better than previous years. But I think and you're right, it does look like a different product. It seems to me like the play has gotten a little more physical than it used to be.
You think they're out there RKOing people, just straight bodying people. I mean, but that's cool. Like, let it happen, you know. And establish a that you could say, hey, even though this is a women's league, we're physical, we're competitive, and that's okay.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Jay, what are your thoughts on WNBA right now? You've been watching?
I've been trying to catch a couple of games. I did see with Angel Reese, you had 15 offensive rebounds. It's insane. Men or women. Like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And then she beat the Liberty. Well, she helped beat the Liberty. Something that Caitlin Clark's team didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got Molly Wild, but
yeah. Caitlin Clark you bring her up, and I'm glad you brought her up. First off, shout out to Hendo, the Rogue Pod. If y'all ain't subscribed, please go subscribe. One of the greatest editors. Good, I'm glad you brought up Caitlin Clark because I see a lot of people on social media saying, well, I guess she ain't what we thought she was. But to me, she's been playing pretty well with the exception of one or two games, right? She's still putting up 20 points. She had one game where she scored 9, which was, an off game. I think another game she scored 17. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but she's doing really good for Sugar West, lost service. He'll be back. She's doing really, really good in her games that she's playing in. So it's not like she's out there just, falling to the wayside, chucking up air balls, playing really, really bad. She's playing against, you can tell it's next level talent. Like when that first game against the Sun, Dejanay Carrington locked her up. But that's also one of the top defenders in the WNBA. And she could score on the other side. So she made Caitlin Clark work double. And that's what you have to do with players like Caitlin, Steph, players like that. You have to make them work double. You go do your job on the offensive end so they can get tired. And then when you're on defense, get in their face. She was picking her up at half court. She was supposed to turn the ball over 10 times in that game. So I think Caitlin Clark's going to be fine. She does have to hit the gym, put a little weight on her because she looks extremely small out there compared to the other ladies. But once she does that, once she gets a little more weight on her, she'll be good. I think she'll be just fine, especially with that shooting skills in that range. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, she'd be all right. Like I didn't really have the fever really doing anything, not that much this season. Still like a lot of your team, Aaliyah, Boston, still figuring it out. Now you got another rookie, off and on with a rookie. And Caitlin Clark trying to figure it out, so they'll be fine in the future. But right now, they're gonna get the next look. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm more interested in the start of how Angela Reese is going right now without Cardoso. Wow. So imagine when both of them start doing Clark World boards, then what?
Mm-hmm.
So it's starting to look like Clark got all the accolades in college, but Reese is looking like the bread pro for now. For now.
Yeah, Reese is right about Angel Reese is playing right about where she did in college, as far as not so much as rebounding, but as far as points. She was never a 30, 40 point a game player.
No,
She was going to give you 15, 17, stuff like that.
15,
Get you a nice double-double, get you some assists, a possible triple-double. So that was her game, and it worked out phenomenal for her in college. And she's doing it again in the WNBA. I think she came in and, her game kind of, especially with her size, she was already big, as far as like she's built to be in the post. She already had that. So it's just transferring it to the WNBA, and she's doing a phenomenal job of doing it so far.
I said, my question is, where would you be June 1st when the Fever played the Chicago Sky? All right, that's going to have a lot of drama.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to have a lot of fanfare. Not really drama, because, they've said how much they respect each other already. So it's going to be a lot of fanfare, but it won't be any drama. And neither of these girls are running around wagging the finger at anybody in this league. So
you're saying if the Angel Reese doesn't outperform Caitlin Clark, like analysts everywhere won't say anything?
Nope, they'll say that Caitlin has the worst team, so it kind of balances out.
Exactly.
I can see that. Bail out.
Sorry about that, you guys. As you can see, I'm in the car, so
yeah, no, you good.
Jose?
He said they coach her up on offense, she's going to be unstoppable. It's true. And Jose is in the building. The other half of LBHT. Listen, we got a lit building tonight. All right, we got all the great YouTubers in here. So we was just saying how just to get you caught up, how Caitlin Clark isn't. It's early on. Once she puts on the weight, gets a little more adjusted to WNBA, she'll still be a phenomenal player. Not to count her out just yet. And that Angel Reese she's kind of right on track with where she was in college. She'll put it to 15. She's gonna just get better at rebounding in the WNBA. Mr. Ghost, you got any thoughts on this?
Angel Reese has that, I guess, more of a She Wallace type game. It translates as more hustle than anything. And Caitlin got to go through her Steph Curry. He was a great shooter his first 2 years, but he still had to develop his running around people. What do I do if I get trapped? Those them small guards have a more intricate game.
Yeah, no, I get it, because like I said, it's another level. Once you step up to that level, it's not just physical; it's mental, right? It's different game plans. The coaching is different, and that's the reason why there's a pro league and then there's a college league. Because when you do get to the pros, there's a difference, which is why they look at a lot of these college players, no matter what the sport, and they go, a lot of people look at these college players, like take Ravens fans, right? A lot of Ravens fans saw that we brought in Kadri Ishmael's son. And they were like, "Oh my goodness! Oh, I love this signing. He's gonna be this. He's gonna be that. Oh, he's 6'6". He's the big body receiver we always needed."
Audrey wasn't in
that. Exactly my point, right? He's just another guy to me. He's just another guy they're bringing in the building to try out, and he's just another guy that's gonna kind of fight to survive, right? Or show something on tape. The Ravens are good for bringing in guys to show off some skills in the preseason and then send them off to other teams. That's kind of what they do. That is a phenomenal question, and I got to look up tape on him because I got no clue.
Oh, he cannot play.
I didn't even know he was up for being drafted. So that right there should tell you something. So I gotta look up some tape.
He should have been in a supplemental draft at best.
Well, occasionally you'll get somebody in the supplemental draft now.
I say at best.
I know. I know. Y'all remember Terrell Pryor? He was a Ohio
That's
State
because
quarterback.
he
Third
had
wide receiver.
problems, and they disqualified him from being able to play any more games, not because he just wanted to be drafted.
Well, no, I know that. I know he had issues going, but he got picked up in the supplemental draft though.
After he messed up the bag. That's the only
You know
reason he
what
was in
I'm
the
saying?
supplemental draft. He
Yeah,
messed up
but
the bag
the point
in
is
that
that it
spot.
happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. He didn't exactly hold up his end of the bargain in the NFL either. But I think under the right, if he would have been in a Greg Roman scheme at quarterback, he would have did good. I feel like he would have did good because I think he had the arm talent. I mean, he was a little inaccurate. He had a strong arm. He knew how to move around the pocket. Had speed. The kid was kind of a problem. A little more time, a little more patience, a coach that would work with him, he'd have did good. But he ended up with the Raiders. You know how that
I
goes.
said I'll put that. So I'll put that. Having 1,000 yards. Switching to wide receiver like it was nothing. Having 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So when quarterback didn't obviously work out. But I swear that one season, boy, the Raiders thought he was the savior.
So listen, I got everybody here. I got the Panthers here. I got the Ravens here. I got a free agent here. But I'm gonna call you the free agent. We got the free agent here. We got Suge with the Steelers. So starting with Suge, I want you to give me your outlook on Pittsburgh and what you're most excited for coming up this season.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm not excited for is that second half of that schedule. Good God, whoever wrote that schedule said, "Can we cuss on here?"
Go ahead.
All right. And I apologize, Yolanda. I know you're in the building, but whoever wrote that second half of the schedule of the Steelers said we're going to screw the Steelers over majorly because that first half of the season, my outlook is 6-2. I think the Cowboys game is going to be tough. Possibly the Jets is going to be a tough game for us. But I look at that schedule, maybe even Indianapolis. But I look at that schedule and I said, some of these teams we played with Mittens and Mitch Trubisky, we won. We're going to be a better offense than we were last year, and possibly a little bit of a better defense, especially at the linebacker and front, the front seven. Corner is still going to be a little bit rough, but if we can get pressure on the quarterback, I think we're going to be okay. Especially playing some bad teams, we're not going to see elite quarterback play. So a 6-2 record, 5-3 would be fine with me. Anything below that would be a little disappointment. But it's that second half. Uh, Never in my life have I seen where we're going to play all our division, the defending champs. Who else is in that crop? I think you play Washington. Like that's that random game, and then I forgot who's out. I know it's the Eagles. You play the Eagles. It's like good luck, good God. So whoever wrote the schedule for the Steelers was like, yeah, we're just gonna screw them over and make it tough on them. Um, but if we can power through it, I have belief that we can beat the Ravens. I think the Browns are they're not that good. They're just extremely lucky. And I don't think Watson's going to get any better. So I think we can beat them. The Bengals are the wild card quotations because of Joe Burrow and his injuries and what's going on with their offense. So I think that I think we could split with pretty much every division team. Kansas City's going to be tough. That's a Christmas game, and that's right when playoffs are being decided. So that's a tough game. Um, so my outlook for the season, I think, realistically, is a 10-7 to 11-6 season. I think that's where we should be at, and I think that we should be able to make the wild card, but we'll see.
Honestly, I think y'all definitely make the wild card. I even got y'all splitting with Baltimore. I think we'll grab one over y'all this year. But I think y'all are gonna have a very good season. And it may be surprising to most, but I do believe that the Ravens and Steelers are gonna have two of the best offenses in the AFC this year. And behind probably just the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will be ahead of them, and the Dolphins will be right there in the top 5. But I think those are going to be the top 5 offenses in the AFC this year. And that's because I think they're going to do some work with the Ravens. A lot of, Lamar slimmed down. I don't think that's a big part of it, but, has that speed back. But I think he's going to be doing a lot of plays where he's bootlegging and getting out of the pocket and kind of finding that open space to deliver the ball because with a young offensive line, that's one thing you're able to do better than with a veteran offensive line is get those big guys moving. And kind of it'll help out the protection for Lamar. So I think that's main part of the game plan going into the season. I think it's going to work out great. Jay, what are you most excited for the Panthers? What's your outlook?
I don't get. I'm sorry. I don't have it. But look at the schedule now. Same old MC South. I just really want growth. I know we're not going to be like how the Texans were last year, just magically turned around. That's kind of like the high bar. So if you do, we do. If you don't, no. It's like we can't get any worse than 2 wins. Like at least if we get 5, 6, hooray. Dave Canales is Jesus. But no, really that week 5 game, I really want the Panthers to blow out the Bears so people can shut the fuck up. Oh my God, they're number 1 pick. Oh, they wasted it. Nah, I need Bryce to I need Bryce to go nuclear. I want all the rookies that we did them sign. They were drafted on offense to help Bryce. I want Bryce to look like the future assassin that I know he is. I want Xavier Legette in his country accent and to put cornerbacks to shame. You know what I'm saying? I want Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, to break cornerbacks' ankles. You know what I'm saying? I just want. I think this is the beginning of getting that Panthers way all the way back in even before 2015. Like saying when Chris Gamble Johnson still was on the team. But this season is definitely gonna be a step in the right direction. Like I said, we're probably gonna hopefully tie with the Saints, Falcons, and Buccaneers. I got us beating the Broncos, Giants. Of course, we're gonna lose to the Chiefs. We got some winnable games if we come out strong and not lackluster like last season. But I don't think we'll do that because Dave Canales seems like he knows what he's doing. He's gonna have people running through a wall for him.
Well, I'm not worried about Deontay Johnson running through a wall for you, Jay. I'm just worried about him catching balls because he seems not to do that. So when you start messaging me pissed off, I'll expect it.
I mean, the game he had against us was last year or 2 years ago. He was killing our whole secondary, so he can do it. He just can't he give a fuck though. That's the true thing. Can he give a fuck? More than 5 wins. Let's not pretend this is the real goal. 5, 6 wins, I'll take it. I ain't gonna say like, oh my God, we did something, but it's growth. Like I said, I just want to see hope.
I think you guys can. Your division is probably the most winnable division in football.
It is. It really is.
The Falcons are gonna trot out Cousins. I don't know if that's gonna be worth anything, but yeah. He's a solid quarterback. You're going to trot out Cousins. The Saints are going to be the Saints. Their season's going to be basically based off their defense, how strong their defense is, just like every other year.
Derek Carr whatsoever.
You know what I mean?
I have more faith in Baker than I do Derek Carr.
Understandable. Understandable. I can't. It's hard to argue that because it's Derek. When has he really been reliable? So that division is up for grabs. And I don't have a problem picking the Panthers to win it because I don't trust Baker to do what he did last year again. I don't trust Derek Carr. And I don't trust Kirk Cousins. And I know you can't necessarily trust Bryce yet either until he proves it, but I think he can prove it.
Also, because I know our defensive ends is going to be kind of weak. A lack of pass rush. Unless Clowney continues what he did last year, what he did for the Ravens, for us, that would be good. DJ Wanham, I'm not really expecting the world. who else? Kayvon, Chaselon, you know. Well, who else on the team? Mary
I,
Darnell, DJ Johnson. Like, I'm not really like the pass rush is going to be mid, if not weak.
I'm gonna say this, too early prediction. Right now, I forgot to say this when we were talking about the Steelers. I don't mean to cut off the Panthers.
There you go, man.
Defensive Player of the Year will be um Patrick King winning Defensive Player of the Year for the Steelers.
That
Mm,
would be that would be funny as
okay,
hell.
that'd be interesting. I don't think it's. I don't think he's
Hilarious.
possible. I don't think he's
The
capable.
the way he's been looking, the way he's looking. I'm just saying. I know it's too early to say that, but if he goes out there and you got the pass rush of T.J. Watt,
Mhm.
and he can play off of T.J. Watt and get like sacks, interceptions, things like that. I think I think I think he might produce a defensive player of the year. I know it's too early to say that. I know I'm probably gonna get shit talk to me. Derek's gonna say, see what you said. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Wow.
I just
But
think so. For my problem with PQ is he's so inconsistent in coverage, and then he really got better with Roquan, where he could just go track down the ball. So if you don't have that guy, an inside linebacker, to start, next to him, he's going to struggle. I know you guys got T.J. Watt, the rush to passer, so he's not going to be in coverage long, which is good because that's going to take less time away from him being broken down in coverage. But I don't know, man. That's a bold prediction. I like it though. I like bold predictions. Mr. Ghost, what you got for me on the season? What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Texans and seeing if new ownership actually does something for the Commanders. Those are two biggest things I want to see all year round.
So I'm actually looking at the Commanders too. We all know why. All right. KBK is over there. And I want to see him actually get a shot this year. And I think, like I said, I think he could turn out to be a really good corner. Somebody that the Ravens missed on by letting them. Well, they thought they were going to get him back. Right. The Ravens originally thought KBK was going to slide past everybody, but he got plucked off the waivers by Seattle. Then Seattle had to go get a veteran linebacker because somebody got hurt. So they had to go get a veteran linebacker. So they were like, okay, well, first, last one hired, first one fired. Sorry, KVK. We got to let you go. And he got plucked off the waivers again by the Packers. Packers had to go get a safety because their starting safety got hurt. So they said, well, we got to let you go. You get the latest guy in there. Then he got plucked off the waivers again by Washington. And Washington's kept him around. He even played some slot corner for them late in the season. He was the starting slot corner actually late in the season. So if there's one place you could go to start making a name, like try to find a starting position, is Washington. It seems like no matter who's over there, if you get signed, you got a chance to get some playing time. So I want to see him earn that playing time and give it a go and see what he really does. See, a lot of people think I'm a KBK fan just because, I don't know, just because. But I watched him play in college. He's a physical corner, does great in zone coverage. Doesn't have the top-notch speed, but when he press covers, he jams guys up so well that you don't often see guys run away from him. It's very rare. If you go back and watch the game against USC when he was in college, he was playing against what's his name? The receiver the Vikings drafted. I forgot his name. But he was playing against him, and he only gave up one catch. It was one long catch, but that was the only catch he gave up to him in that game. Huh?
Osborne? I know you ain't talking about JJ.
No, not JJ. The rookie they drafted just the other year. The same year KBK came out.
Addison, right? I'm tripping.
So
I thought it was Kevin Osborne or something like that.
No. It was
Oh, he said Rodney said it's Addison.
Yes,
Yeah,
Addison.
Addison.
Jordan Addison. So go back and look up that game against Addison. He played phenomenal in that game. So that was the thing. Watching him against Addison in college, watching him through college is the thing that made me want to see him at the next level. See if he could transfer that physical style of play to the next level. People think I'm just out here talking out the side of my mouth like he's gonna be an all-star. No, I just want to see him get a chance and see if he can be some of what he was in college, any of it, because if you can play that way as a physical corner, it's a good thing. It's something Baltimore likes to run. It's something a lot of teams really need is a guy that can get up to the line and stuff some of these receivers at the line of scrimmage. So I wanted to see if that would transfer over. So that was my reason for really liking KBK. But for the Ravens, I'm excited to see this offensive line because the front office gave away all the old guys, didn't get any new guys, as if they knew, hey, what we got is that secret for y'all. Y'all don't know. This offensive line about to be crazy. That's the way the Ravens make it seem. So I'm interested to see. I can't wait for the preseason so I can see these guys work. Y'all go ahead and put that time in together, make it happen, and let me see what this team can do. Because, again, I think they're staying young only because they want to do more bootlegs, more play action. They want to get guys on zone runs. They want to run a zone offense. So I think the key behind it, but just because
Reg, I don't think you really believe that. I don't really think you believe that. I think you're just hoping that happens.
Yes, a lot of it's hope. Yes, absolutely, a lot of it's hope. Absolutely, I'm not afraid to admit that. A lot of it's hope. Heck yeah, a lot of it's hope.
Oh,
because
that's
prayers. I mean, think about the amount of fear when you let go of your starting offensive line, and you say, you know what, these young guys that's never played, they're gonna start. It's scary at this level of play. That's a scary thing to go into. So I'm hoping the Ravens know something we don't. It'll be a first, but a lot of firsts happen, right? They made it seem the way that, pretty much. They did. They made us think that Prochet and Devin Duvernay and all those guys was it. That we didn't have to worry about signing nobody else. Unfortunately, they were wrong. But we all knew they were wrong with that. With this, the offensive line, I mean, there's still hope with an offensive line. Receiver, you ain't really got that hope because you knew Prochet was slow. You knew Duvernay wasn't an outside wide receiver. Like, we knew these things for a fact. At least with the offensive line, there's question marks like, hey, they could possibly good. Like, they could possibly
question marks is an understatement.
Understatement of the year, right? Question marks.
Unless y'all pick up somebody after June first cuts.
Listen, I'm thinking they're going to bring in Dalton Reisner, but I don't know if that's enough, right? I don't know what their plan is. It is AB. It is though. It is. What can we do other than, as Ravens fans? What can we do other than hope? Because they didn't do what the Panthers did, which is what I was hoping they did. They went out there, threw a bunch of cash at the best offensive lineman in the market, and brought them in. I praised the Panthers for days after they did that. I absolutely loved that move. They had a problem with the offensive line. They went and solved it. The Ravens don't like to solve their problems.
And then we had the balls to trade up for the receiver that we want.
Ain't you the only Ravens fan on the screen?
Huh?
Ain't you the only Ravens fan on the screen? I rock with Lamar. That's about it.
Yo, listen. I'm trying to be pessimistic.
I mean, if meet Tez Walker now, since he is from UNC.
But the pessimism is creeping in on me because they kept Harbaugh, and that hurt me, especially after losing to the Chiefs the way we lost to the Chiefs.
Well, now that hurt us at this point. That hurt us.
So, and think about this, right? I want you to really picture this. What if they do lose this first game of the regular season to the Chiefs? That'll be twice in the span of 1 year, one fiscal year that they lost to the Chiefs to end their season and to begin their season.
if they lose to the Cowboys, I never hear the end of it. I'm gonna have to deal with that for the next 4 years.
I noticed you said we.
And you already know you're gonna lose to the Steelers twice. So
I think we're
It's
splitting.
likely
I
that
think we're splitting with Pittsburgh this year. I do think Pittsburgh's going to take one, but I think we're splitting.
Pittsburgh takes both because they actually fixed their
Split what?
O-line during the
You
damn
mean like
draft like they were
gymnastics?
supposed to.
You mean Harbaugh gonna do a split? Like what you splitting? The Steelers probably gonna mollywop the Ravens.
You think Steelers going to
young offensive line?
If they have an even team and Tomlin is coaching versus Harbaugh, it is a wrap.
Well, yeah. But we got that guy, though. That guy makes a difference. That's why I think we're going to split. I think Lamar does something to make it a split. If we win, I'm not saying we're going to blow out the Steelers. I don't think we'll blow out the Steelers. But I think Lamar,
rush up the middle.
Justin Tucker can get us one win on the Steelers.
Lamar can pull
It's
one out
sad
against
that
the
I have
Steelers,
to use Justin Tucker, but it's facts.
You taking 2 losses to the Steelers with a possible win if Lamar does something.
Yeah,
you got the King of Hearts talking about I got 2 in the possible.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you now, I've already, I don't know where I said it at. I said it to somebody, but I'm predicting Lamar to have another MVP level season.
I feel you, but the Ravens is a team that got 2 spades trying to win 6 books.
Hey. Again, I'm trying to be optimistic.
Jay's messing me up, okay? But Jay, I need you to keep a straight face when I'm talking trash.
The fact that I understood the spade reference after years of getting my ass whooped by my cousins and aunts at family gatherings. Yeah.
Man, listen. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a great season. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's gonna be real interesting because I look at it as a win-win for me, right? Either the Ravens do what they're supposed to and they go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, whatever. Or they don't and John Harbaugh is finally out of here. That's where my mindset is. Right?
Or they keep doing what the Ravens do and they don't go to the Super Bowl and they still keep John Harbaugh.
Yeah, but that's a real dark road to go down. I'm trying to avoid that one.
I mean, you guys have gone down that dark road many a times. What changed?
Exactly. That's why I'm hoping for change. I'm praying for change. I know these dudes don't like change. The Ravens are the definition of insanity, right? They keep repeating the same mistake over and over again, thinking it's going to be a different outcome. They're the definition of insanity. But I'm praying that changes. That's all I can do is pray on it. I hope that something changes. It has to. I mean, right now, John Harbaugh, he's like Jeff Fisher. He's just keeping that job off of one championship that he didn't even win. But that's a conversation for another day. We're not even gonna get into that like that because I get emotional when we start talking about that. But what we are going to talk about, we're gonna get into this X-Men '97 real quick.
Hold on. So if we keep talking about Harbaugh, we're gonna get some Reg and B.
Listen, we're gonna talk about X-Men
Emotional
'97.
roller coaster.
We're gonna talk about X-Men '97, right? Because I know we all have different opinions on the show, in the series, and my opinion is very unique. Bronny's already showing you his. B said, "Boo." Listen, B.
Are we talking full spoilers about this? Because I couldn't spoil Jose because Jose hadn't seen the ending. So are we going full spoilers?
So we'll try to avoid spoiling too much. We'll try to avoid spoiling too much for those who haven't seen it. Jay, have you watched it all?
No, not yet, but I plan to this weekend as I get back.
Okay, so we're going to try to avoid spoilers. For those who haven't seen the full season yet, we'll try to avoid spoilers. But I think for me, just to kick it off here, I think for me, the big thing that was that made this series so good to me was the way they wrapped up a lot of the stories. Now, I've said this from the beginning. Again, I'm judging it kind of differently from everybody else. A lot of people were saying, like, I had DDSQ on here. We had DDSQ on here. He says it's the best series he's ever watched in general, including TV, regular TV series, and all that. When I judge stuff, I judge on a genre, right? I put it in a genre. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is the best animated series I've seen. But when I say it, I don't mean of all animated series, because Boondocks is untouchable. All right. So out of my stuff that I watched, that I like my heroes and stuff like that, you know, Batman and Iron Man, Hulk, all of those, I felt like X-Men 97 was up there with the Justice League series. Okay. That was my personal thoughts. Okay. So I don't want people thinking I was just out here like, yo, I've never seen anything better. It's great. No, I think it was a great show. And it was up there with I've repeatedly said this, up there with Justice League for me. But a big part of it was I didn't go into it thinking, okay, this is gonna be based off nostalgia. This is gonna be based off the last series, and it's gonna be just like those X-Men. I didn't have that in my mind.
But see, but Reg, right there, you're wrong, because it was a continuation of the old series. That's the problem. It was a continuation. It wasn't a, hey, we're starting a whole new series. It was, this is a continuation of the X-Men that you watched at this time of your life, and we're going to continue those stories. And they took characters that were already established, and they said, we're just going to change everything about them. That's my issue. If it was a standalone X-Men series, I'd be like, yeah, it's really good. But the problem is what the hook was, hey, this is a continuation of 1992's X-Men. And you took characters, again, that are already established, and you changed everything about them. So when you say, well, I didn't go in there with nostalgia, I didn't go in there thinking it was then you weren't watching the same. You went in there with you went in there basically saying, this is a whole new X-Men show, which was not what was being promoted. And that's my issue with the series. Do I think the series is good? I liked it. As a comic book fan, I liked it. As a X-Men fan, it was fine. As a X-Men 92 fan, you changed a lot of characters that weren't like that in the original series. Cable was not a mama's boy in the original series. Okay, Wolverine was not a simp. Okay, Gambit was definitely not a side dude. I tell you that much. Gambit would have told Rogue to go kick rocks. And Rogue, let's talk about Rogue. First off, it didn't even make any sense. And I said this, I was trying not to spoil it, but I'll kind of spoil this, and I'm sorry, Jake. But it doesn't even make any sense that in X-Men 92, they fought Magneto a bunch of times, okay? Rogue not one time said, yo, I'm messing with that. I was messing with that dude a couple years ago. But then all of a sudden, randomly, oh yeah, I was messing with him and I got feelings for him. What? You guys have been battling Magneto forever. Forever you've been battling them, and now it comes up, oh yeah, me and him, we can touch each other because he likes to play with metal. That didn't even make any sense. Like, it made sense with the powers and everything like that. It didn't make sense that all of a sudden she wants to bring it up now. Oh yeah, we used to mess around. Made no sense whatsoever. That made no sense.
With Gambit wearing that
was my.
With Gambit wearing that top, she let him know. Yeah, he used to clap these cheeks, shawty.
Like, I didn't mind the designs they changed of the characters. I honestly, I'll tell you the truth, and if people know how I am, I actually liked what they did with Morph and Wolverine. I liked that. I actually, because it was genuine. The dude cared for Wolverine, not only as a friend, but possibly more, and was there for him and trying to be there. Like you saw in the beginning when Wolverine was being all mopey. He went out there and threw some. It was like, here, I got some beers from us. some beers and some snacks. Oh, that didn't make you feel better? Guess what? I'm gonna turn into your greatest enemy, and you can beat my ass. That's some kinky ass shit right there. Because then afterwards, he can turn into two other females and then let him hit it. Could you imagine? Hey, could you imagine having a homie? Having a
Bruh.
homie like, you having a bad day?
Hey,
That you
bruh.
having a bad day? Guess what? I'm gonna turn into your biggest enemy. You can whoop my ass, and then I'm gonna turn into the girl you like, and I'll let you hit it. Man, that is wild. Hey, Morph is a homie. That's a homie right there. Okay,
No,
that's all I gotta say about Morph.
no.
Shout out to Morph. But it was
Nah.
but that storyline made sense, and it didn't take away from the characters. The storyline of Magneto and Rogue took away from the characters. Cable, his character, he was never a mama's boy. That dude came back to save his son. Okay, he came back to get rid of Apocalypse. This dude wasn't over here crying about his mom. And you can't say, well, there's a time difference. It was literally a couple years later. How did his character so drastically change? You know what I'm saying? I know you talked about Reg when we were talking about it with Jose and them, and you were saying Wolverine he has always been a softie towards Jean, but it just seemed it seemed a little too much with how his character was, and also too just even with Jean when she kisses him, like that is so out of pocket because she was in love with Scott. Like, yeah, we all knew she had a thing for Wolverine, but she never really acted on it. I bet you she went to bed thinking about Wolverine. Like, man, I wonder what them claws how they can cut up my clothes. But she never really acted on it. And then in this series, she acts on it, and it's out of nowhere. It's for no reason. And you kind of like thrown off by that. And then Wolverine, as much as he's want to be with her, just goes, "Nah, you need to go back to Scott." Like Wolverine would have done that. Wolverine would have tried to be like, "All right, let's go back in the mansion and let's go to my room real quick." And then Jean would have been like, "You know what? This is a bad idea. I can't do this to Scott. I love him too much." That would have made more sense. The fact that Wolverine is like, "You need to go back to Scott," that didn't make no sense, man. That's not the Wolverine we came to know. And also too, the show really put Wolverine on the back burner. We didn't have any kind of storyline with Wolverine. We had a little bit with the Jean, a little bit with the Scott and Jean, but that's it. And I think that was kind of weak sauce. Because Wolverine's always been one of the best characters of X-Men. It has such a unique backstory. To cut him out and you put the forefront of Jubilee, Rogue, I would have been okay if we didn't have to get all that, but that's just me. But go ahead, Reg, my bad. I cut you off, and my bad.
No, you're good. It's funny that you say that because that's those reasons you named are pretty much the exact reasons why I like the series so much, right? I like that they finally shined light on some of the other characters. They could have kicked the Jubilee episode to the side. I've expressed that a million times. I couldn't stand that episode. I wish they never made that episode, right? I don't care for the Jubilee episode, but I like that they kind of. So when I was going into it, I said to myself, I want to see what's different from, where's the character development from the X-Men of the past to now, and I think that's why I liked it so much because I wanted to see, some of those guys get some of those characters be deeper emotionally or more emotional connection between them. I love that. I love what they did with Morph and Wolverine. Absolutely love that. The whole Jean thing, the Jean kissing Wolverine thing, I could see why they would have it happen in the midst of her confusion and not knowing who she is and when she got changed and all that other stuff. So I could see her mind and him being the one to, call into her ear and kind of bring her back. Remember, this followed after he told her how he felt about her, how strongly he felt about her. She probed his mind. That's how he brought her back. So the kiss to be made sense because of that, right? If it just happened without that happening prior, then it would have been like, throw that out the window. Why the heck did you do that? But being as though she was in that confused state and that when she woke up, that's who she woke up to. She woke up to Wolverine. She woke up to how much Wolverine loves her. And then he said something about Scott, and she went to go help Scott mentally. So I think that can obviously throw a loop. And then the fact that she finds Scott basically having a telekinetic or a psychic connection with Madeline, they having brain sex. Like, they was having brain sex. And she walked in. Like, oh, so this is what you've been doing? So she's all over the place emotionally. She's confused. So I could see why the kiss would happen, right? So that kind of cleared that up for me. But I there's one thing that B said, you said, Hendo, that and Jose, and I agree 100%, is that they rushed every episode, it seems, right, to tell the story. They went beginning, end, and didn't really have it. You were kind of like this in the middle, like you got a little bit of story. So I do wish they took more time to develop the stories, but I guess it's a matter of, and you already, like he said, you're already booked for season 2 and season 3. But my guess is that they've got it planned out so far ahead with these seasons that they have specific stories that they want to tell, and they want to get them out there. And realistically, that's the way they did the original X-Men. They rushed every episode. It was, it was kind of clunky how they laid it out. It was all over the place. And then the endings would bring it together. So that's kind of the same layout here. But being modern day, the way we watch TV now compared to then, I would have loved for them to get a little more in depth, right? With not only some of the characters, but with the stories, like the whole, when did Jean get switched? I get why they still don't want you to know that. They kind of want to keep it a mystery because there's things they could do there with the story, but it's still one of those things that they should have touched on. It deserved a longer episode than, they shouldn't have gave Jubilee an episode at all. Why she had her own episode, no clue. They should have spent more time on Storm because she deserved it. It's Storm. Like, she's one of the originals. She's one of the greats. You got to give Storm more time because I think you build towards, if they're smart, they'll build in the future episodes, the future seasons, towards when Storm becomes Queen of Wakanda, right? You got to build that in there. Get her and T'Challa together. You got to have, and that's, I want to touch on Black Panther after, but I think that's a must. So there should have been more time on Storm.
Well, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, Rich, because they showed that the king right now is not T'Challa. It's what the hell is his dad's name?
Shaka.
It's Shaka. It's him right now. It's not T'Challa. So that's not, unless they go super down the road. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
What I want to know is, why y'all hating on Jubilee? She 18. She trying to pop, lock, and drop it. You know what I mean? And
I don't hate Jubilee. I don't hate Jubilee. I didn't mind the episode. I don't hate it. But if you're talking about storyline, like the fact that they found out Madeline Pryor wasn't Jean took 30 seconds. That should have been a whole episode. The end of the episode should have been a whole episode, and it ends with, "You're not Jean Grey." Boom, shocker. Now you have a next episode where she catches Scott talking about her, and she feels betrayed by the man she loves, and then that sets her off and sends her on her way to be controlled by Sinister. Not, yo, you're a clone. 30 seconds in, oh my God, I'm a clone. Oh my God, Sinister took over me. I'm a bad person now. Now I'm gonna make you guys, like, that whole episode of where they're in hell. That should have been a whole episode by itself. That should have been 3 parts. And going back to the original show, Reg, where you talked about, it wasn't as clunky. It was an episode, then a 3-part or 2-part episode that went together, then an individual episode, then a 3-part, 2-part, and that's the way they built it. This one, it felt like this is a random episode, this is a random episode. These 2 episodes kind of go together, then a random episode, and then we had our 3-part end of finale. Like, it felt like you said, it felt rushed. And they could have made those first few episodes 3 episodes. They should have had more. And if you did know you were going to get renewed, then you could have spread it out, which I don't think they knew at that time when they were making it that they were going to get renewed. And so that's why I think it was rushed, because I don't think they found out they were going to get renewed until they were about to release. And so then they were like, all right, well, we're going to get renewed. So now we can go, for 2 more seasons. So now we can do 2 stories a season. And I think you'll see in the next 2 seasons, not as rushed episodes, I think. I don't think they knew that. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I don't think my main thing is, and this is a spoiler. Sorry, Jay, I got to spoil it. My thing is, what I loved is, and I think Jose's gonna hate it, but I think he's gonna love it. Was all the cameos at the end of the episode. They showed things about other series that we've had questions about. If you are a big fan of the '90s Spider-Man, you saw Peter Parker with Mary Jane. At the end of Spider-Man in the '90s, Mary Jane is missing. She is lost in the. They did the whole Spider-Verse thing, and at the end, him and Madam Web, Spider-Man and Madam Web are taking off, and they're like, "We're gonna go find Mary Jane." And we all sat there going, "Hell yeah, we're gonna get Mary Jane back!" And they never did that show again. At the end of this episode, we see that, and we're like, "Holy shit! Wait, is that her back from wherever she went to?" So I want to see if they do the '90s Spider-Man, because if they do that, I'm gonna be super excited. We saw '90s Iron Man. I said this to Jose. You will recognize that anybody that watched the original '90s show, that's '90s Iron Man. That wasn't even connected to X-Men or anybody. So that was dope to see. Obviously, we saw T'Challa's dad as Black Panther. You saw Cloak and Dagger. You saw Daredevil from the '90s Spider-Man. So are they going to start a '90s universe cartoon, multi-universe, which would be dope to see. And I would be excited for that, to see that happen. So I think that this opens up a lot of opportunities to do that stuff, while also being able to tell really good stories. And I think this is the one thing I agree with Jose when it does. There's a lot of comic book stuff that they can pull from, but a lot of it's hard to tell in a cartoon format, because it's so stories span. Could you imagine them trying to do Civil War as a cartoon? It would be 6 episodes. It had to be a whole season by itself, because that's how much happens in that comic. So hopefully you get a couple cool storylines. Obviously, we see Logan loses his adamantium, so we're going to get that. Logan with bones, and then possibly get his adamantium back later, and things like that. So I think that where I was going with this is, I think that these next 2 seasons, the episodes won't be as rushed, but I hope that they kind of fix the characters, because I didn't like the way these characters were written, as far as being original characters. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I want to see more growth from the series. I definitely want to see more time spent on the stories. Obviously, we're gonna get the Apocalypse story next, and it's looking like Gambit's gonna be from when Gambit was one of his horsemen. So I can't wait to see it. I did think we were going to see Onslaught, but they didn't do it. They teased it, but did not do it, which I think that would have been awesome if they would have did that. To see Onslaught play out would have been awesome. I would have loved that 100%, but they did not do it. So we'll see what happens in season 2. Season 1, I'd say overall was a success. There was things they could have done better. I'm never going to disagree with that. I agree 100%. The plot holes, they need to fix all the plot holes. Right? Yeah, it's a cartoon, so you're going to have plot holes, but they got to fix them. They got to do a little better, make them a little smaller. Continue to work. Ghost, you've seen the series. What'd you think?
Those plot holes are hard to deal with, because the writing for Marvel is so inconsistent across everything. Like I was telling you, in one iteration, the writer writes, "Hey, Wolverine couldn't break the skin of Colossus, but after cutting him enough times that there was blood." But 90% of the writers write that same thing. Colossus is metal through and through. There is no human left in him when he transforms. So how did he get to blood? And then the next one, oh yeah, he can't cut through Hulk's skin because Wolverine can heal. He can fight very well. He has claws from hell, but he is not super strong. So him penetrating somebody who's generally impervious doesn't make sense. He can't generate enough velocity and force to really cut into somebody. But now his power's been upgraded and now he can cut through the hole. So when you think about it, Magneto is impervious to these psychic attacks, right? What's Wolverine's skull encased in? I'm pretty sure it's a harder metal than Magneto's mask, right? But Charles can always get through to him. But Charles can always get through to him, but he can't get through to Magneto, even though you can see most of Magneto's face. So if you do a cartoon, you do a movie, you do whatever, it's hard to get all the plot holes because depending on who writes the character, they change the whole entire character.
That's facts. It is plot holes, and that's one thing as a viewer we grow to overlook certain plot holes, right? Because we just want to enjoy a good show. We don't want to break down the negative parts that we can't explain because of plot holes. Now we'll break down the negative parts that we can explain, but when it comes to the plot holes, we're kind of like, I get it. I get it because that is a perfect example.
I mean, the plot hole of Rage and Jubilee and Sunspot being able to breathe in space. Like I know on the moon there was an episode where they had designated a spot that they could breathe in outer space, but it had like kind of a dome over it. But then all of a sudden now Rogue can fight in space and Jubilee can be in space flying with Sunspot. And isn't like that's a plot hole. You're like, wait, what? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like, how can you breathe in space? So I think sometimes we're okay with just but okay, whatever, it is what it is. But some stuff is like glaring potholes. I want to see what they said about Scarlet Witch because if you look on the poster, it says Scarlet Witch is off world. Like, where is Scarlet Witch? Why is she off world? Stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with Bazel, or sorry, Ghost. Sometimes writers write so different for characters, you don't know which is which, and it makes it kind of, because it's so inconsistent, it makes it frustrating.
Even the same writers, though, there's some of the same writers that write the same character, and they will change it depending on
We all just go quiet
that they're writing. Jay out here typing in the chat instead of talking.
What do you say over there? You must have Star Wars writers doing the play. Ah, man, chill. Rodney says because comic writing sucks. I mean, I wouldn't say it.
Hey, you know what, Bronny? Screw you. How about that one?
You know what? You know what? I'm telling you, this is what we need to do. We need to get Marvel to just like generate the pictures and images, and we'll just have Bronny do the voiceovers of whatever happened in the story. Just let him make it up on the fly.
I mean, Bronny's supposedly a writer. Why don't you write for comic books? He always trashing something. Can't stand Bronny, man. He always trashing something for no reason. With his fresh cut beard. Trying to look professional.
He said that he had a filter.
He said, read a book. He said, you know what, Shug? Read a book. Bronny's threats are weird, man. That's a weird threat. But listen, I agree on the plot holes. And you're right. Sometimes it's just the characters, the writers changing the characters. I think in this instance, they thought they were doing it for the better of the characters and the better of the show because they're trying to appeal to a different youth, because I think they're still trying to appeal to the kids. I don't think they're just playing off of they played a little bit off the nostalgia of us who watched it back then, but I think they changed the characters a bit to try to appeal to younger kids because of the way the world is now. I mean, I just talked about this recently on one of my shows. The world's just so different that Sugar, I think you said this when you were on the show with them. They're overemphasizing some of the challenges in life to appeal more to today's youth and things that is happening in the world.
Yeah,
Now I
real
gotta
quick,
get into it. I gotta get
real
into
quick.
hold on. I gotta take this one because the
Okay, go ahead,
whole
go ahead.
reason, like Suge said, the whole reason we wanted this goddamn show back is because we wanted some normal shit from when we used to watch cartoons and they didn't do all this ridiculousness. Like, oh, Colossus is alive, but where in the world is he? Because apparently in the poster they show he's a grown ass man. He came to Professor X as a teenager. Where the hell did he disappear to? You got a poster with 6 other X-Men that were in the original series, and we don't know goddamn where the hell they are. And this is a continuation, but you make it seem like it's brand new.
Yeah, real quick, I want to respond to Bronny about reading the books. Bronny, why don't you start a book club and maybe we'll read some books? Oh, wait, you did that and nobody joined.
Shots fired.
Okay.
Shots.
Why are you? I can't read anyway. You want to sit here and read a book up? That's fucked up, Bronny.
Some people
Messing with me. Am I just
had Audible books and they didn't finish it?
Right?
That's crazy. But Brandon, I noticed we know you love Colossus, but I know that's your leading. I noticed that's your leading point.
The leading point is because I saw Colossus, I saw Psylocke, and I saw 3 other characters that were in the original X-Men. But I know for a fact Colossus was a teenager. So if all these other people who were teenagers are now grown, the X-Men have been established. We don't know how old Psylocke is because she kind of is like, she, as far as I'm concerned, she like Bishop. She might be 50 and she might be 97. She might have been around when Hiroshima happened, and she might have been born in 1974. We don't know. But for facts, most of the people who are on the thing that weren't X'd out were in X-Men 92, and we haven't seen nor heard mention of them. Morph turned into him one time. I'm like, okay, where the hell Colossus come from? Then this motherfucker turned into the Hulk. Then he turned into the old girl with the 6 arms and the swords. I'm like, okay.
He turned into 90s Mr. Fantastic. He turned into some other characters that I don't know the names of, but they're known. Yeah, it doesn't. I'll agree with you. Is where are these X-Men at? Because we know Colossus is alive because in the original show he helps Wolverine fight Omega Red, which I love Omega Red's character. I just don't know how did they find him in a sub that was in the bottom of the ocean. All of a sudden he's back, and the girl that was with him in this show fighting with him, North Star, just helped freeze him before. Now they're cool again. I mean, this is the inconsistent writing by Zeus. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe you know what? You never know. Sometimes you have a spat with somebody, then you end up being on a podcast with them, and things they being cool again. Maybe they were like, you know what? Omega Red was like, you know what, no Star, my bad. You know what? I messed up. I'm sorry. I got a little too hungry, and I was like, I'm gonna take over the world. And I was throwing my tentacles around at people. And you know what? My bad. I forgot you, my homie. So we cool. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
They brought him a Snickers real quick, and he was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? Yeah, he was like, I saw Wolverine. That motherfucker pissed me off every time I see him. You know what? I got mad. My bad. But now they're cool. So I don't know. But I do agree with you that the inconsistent writing of like, well, where's Colossus? Where's all these other people? And maybe he wasn't on Genosha. They could have used that, but like, well, he was on Genosha.
Movie. Why is everybody on Genosha so goddamn soft? Like they was.
Where's Mystique at? Where Mystique go?
That's a good one. I thought they took the place of the president at first.
No. Can you imagine? Could you imagine she was your girl, Reg?
Oh man. Chill.
Hey, bro. She can fight. She can fight with you and turn into anybody you want to be with. That's the perfect woman right there.
So she would have got clapped by Wolverine instead of Morph, right?
No, because Morph
man.
would because Mystique would have put the emotion in. You know, Wolverine likes that emotion. Morph would have put the emotion in. You know, he would have said, "I loved you." You know, he would have. You know,
Yo,
what did he
wow.
say? What is it? What is this man saying? He
He
said,
said,
"Y'all spent 10 minutes talking about the why he got mad." We were saying it sucks.
"Hey,
Rodney is on
Rodney
island.
takes Rodney takes he takes things so personally, man. Like
Rodney's
so
on with it. He's a real form. Rodney's a real form."
right, right.
So listen, that's gonna lead into my last segment of the show, real talk. Now I got a couple questions for y'all because I seen a few things this week. I like to look at social media and find different talking points because I see things out there that some of which I find outrageous and some I just find completely hilarious. So the first thing I want to present to y'all, you on the highway, you riding down the street with your lady. Suge's actually riding down the street with his lady right now. You look up, it's a woman half naked sticking out the sunroof of a car. Booty ass up, cheeks out. What is your reaction? Are you going to try not to look, or are you looking anyway and then
Hell
putting it
no,
out? Like, what's your
hell no.
move?
I'm gonna look, and my girl gonna look too. She can be like, she's like, you see that shit?
Like that?
My girls hit me. My girls hit me and be like, "You see that girl rocking right there?" And I look, and the girl got an ass the size of an elephant with some fucking jeans on that are tight as hell. And I'm like, "God damn!" And then I look at her because I'm like, "Are you gonna get mad?" She's like, "No, look at that shit. That's crazy." Or we were in Vegas, and this chick popped out with it had to been triple D's, maybe triple F's. I don't know, but I was like, "Good lord!" And she was like, "God damn!" I was like, "She's like, I bet you her back hurts." I was like, facts. Like we look together. Like hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like people do crazy shit, and you know, people. I know we don't like to admit it, but people do things to get a reaction. So when you see people doing stuff like that, you're gonna get a reaction. And if you're comfortable with who you're with, like it's not like if I see this girl hanging out of the car half naked, I'm gonna jump out the car and like try to run up on her. Like that's not gonna happen. You just looking, you're just like, oh shit, that's wild. So you know your girl shouldn't get mad. If your girl is getting mad because somebody else is doing something and it's in your peripheral, maybe she just doesn't feel comfortable with herself because there's no reason to get upset about it.
Hey, some women are just like that, man. Because I think depending on the situation, I think it depends
He
on who
got in
spots
trouble
it
for this
first.
before, didn't
For
he?
me,
You
so
got in
like
trouble.
if we in the car and I spot it first, she probably gonna knock me upside my head. But if she
Mhm.
spotted first, she like, "Do you see that?" I'm gonna go, "What?" And I'm gonna look I'm like, "Yeah, that's ridiculous." But it depends on who spots it first. So if I spot it first, I gotta look as inconspicuous as possible, right? I'm gonna be like, "Hey, man, you see the sky? I can see the sun. Look at the sun beaming through that cloud right there, pointing her in the direction." So then when she get the direction she see it, she can say something. Then I can, oh man, that's crazy. That's wild right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think that's kind of how it would go. Jay, what about you? You got a new lady, so you and the new lady hanging out, and the cheeks is in the air while you driving. Do you look, or are you going? Because I know you probably y'all ain't got that much time in, so you don't know how she gonna react. Do you look, or do you try to avoid the situation?
I think as long as I acknowledge it first, like, hey, babe, look, she wouldn't mind. Still got to talk to her about that, but no, or that hasn't encountered yet. But I would think if I say, hey, babe, look, we're looking together. Because we were talking about the other night how if Megan, say somehow see like somebody like Megan Thee Stallion or somebody of that nature walk down the street, hell yeah, we both looking. I ain't about to miss this opportunity.
Hey, what about you, B? What's going through your mind at that moment?
So, give honor and glory to God first. My wife, no. If I can verify that it's a woman and not a morph, I don't miss it. I don't miss an ass walking down the street. Like it's my thing. I like to look at a chick, look at the ratios, give me a little judgment, and I'm good. But see, I don't just look at the ass or I looking at the clothes, the setup, like, okay, yeah, she got nice. Yeah, her hair messed up this and the third. Like I notice everything.
He analyzes. He breaking it
Yeah,
down.
I'm analyzing the whole person. I can tell you 5 days from now what that person looked like, what they was wearing, and what they was doing. I'm not just looking at ass, but I'm going to look at an ass if it's nice.
Hey, I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm blind. I'm with my lady. I'm blind, bro. I don't see nothing.
Pimping got the vision.
I don't see a darn thing. I don't, because I listen. Is on my end, it ain't worth it. That's I'm like
on my end, baby.
Now,
Do you
when my
see that
girl
future that's behind her? She got a bright future behind her.
When my girl goes, did you see that? Dang, you look at the size. Then I'm gonna look, because now you're giving me permission. But if you ain't giving me permission, I don't want that fight. I don't want that problem. I don't want that beef. I ain't even gonna hold you. I don't want none of that beef. But that brings to a different situation, right? You in the restaurant. The waitress is clearly flirting with you. Does your lady, get upset over that?
What's that discount look like?
I'm saying, does your lady get upset with it? This y'all not even talking about discounts and whatnot yet.
Oh, no.
But is she just like,
if a waiter or waitress is flirting with me, there must be something coming off that bill for the low. If a waiter or waitress is flirting with her, it must be something coming off that bill. Because I don't like people like that. So I mean, you can flirt all you want to. What's it getting me? She know I ain't going nowhere, so she don't care.
It's funny because every woman reacts differently. Me and my lady had a situation where we was out to eat, and she swears the waitress was flirting as hard as possible. She said at one point she was like she wouldn't even look at me. She was standing there basically. She's like, I got shoulder and back the whole time.
Because that lady was trying to get a tip.
That's what I told her. I said, she trying to get a tip.
It could also be a tip of that dick.
Right? Shut up. She's trying to get the cash money tip, not the,
Oh, she was trying to get it from the 99 and the 2000. So you owe back tip, huh?
Oh man. So for me, it was funny though. We laughed about it, so it was nothing serious taken of it, and I love that. I absolutely love that. Right? We joked about it, we laughed about it. We clowned. It was a good time. We had a good time, cracking jokes. But those things happen. So one of the other situations that I want to talk about, and I'm not gonna hold us up for too much longer. It's already been, over an hour. Is there a place for conversation during intercourse? So, questions. Hold on. Men asking us men, or even a woman asking questions and making statements during sex.
What kind of statements and questions?
Or should it be, what I'm saying? Men be like, whose is it and all that. You know how. Don't act like, what I'm saying? You know how it is. Don't act like you ain't never grabbed a shorty by her throat. It was like, hey.
I might talk my cash shit, but I have never asked a chick whose is it or who's your daddy.
So
I don't ask them type of questions.
I've never asked that either. But men do. We've heard of this, right?
No, fools do.
And this is why I bring it up. D Weezy can hit the nail on the head. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to. So I seen the skit. I seen not a skit, but I seen a dude talking about it. And the shorty said to him, she asked, why do men ask questions? He's like, what do you mean?
I remember that one. That was when she was like, but you the side piece. How you gonna ask whose is it?
Yes. You're the side piece. You can't ask whose is it because I'm gonna say that's gonna mess up the whole situation, right? Can you imagine? You in the middle. I think this was said on there too. You in the middle of bow. And she say, you like, you be like, yeah, you like that, huh? And she say no. What does she say no? Jay, what if she say no? What are you gonna do? Jay, like, you like that, don't you? You like that, don't you? What? She says no.
I'm not,
What are you gonna do?
legit to save future embarrassment. You just gotta pack up and leave.
You just gotta pack up and
At least
leave.
have your dignity. At least have your dignity left. I mean, she done crushed the spirit already.
You're not gonna try to fix it at that point. I think.
What can you do?
I just pound that joint out and hope you got the stamina to hold out.
Hey man, so if I'm in the middle of the get down and I'm like, yeah, you like that, huh? And she like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna try a couple other things first, and then and then leave. Okay, what about this?
Nah, I'm not even going. Nah, but you.
I can't just tap out.
See, you
No, she don't
look.
even deserve.
This is when we
that,
got to be
further
honest.
effort though.
If you can't feel what she's feeling based on the changes of your stroke game trash.
Hey, this is true, but it's dudes that deal with this. We
They
know
deal with
it's
it
dudes
because
that deal
they
with this.
doing the same thing all the time. These dudes that hit women, hit every woman the same. Me, I'm moving hips, I'm checking angles, I'm trying to hit certain
Changing
spots.
positions.
Yeah, I like to
Right.
fold them up. You know, you fold them up, get them on the. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Play Twister. You know what I'm saying? Backwards crab walk with it.
You know what I mean? It's some of us that get in there and we like to experiment, switch it up, change it around. And
That
it's other
look, that
ones like
side
you said.
scissors stance, boy. When you crack them over like that, especially the big booty joints that ain't really been hit deep, when you hit them with that side mount joint, and they be like, "Oh my God, I never." Yeah, you got 2-3 spots back there, homegirl. You just ain't been hit the right ones, but don't worry, I'm gonna get you right.
Listen,
I'll say the handstand.
and for those dudes that are just the same old thing over and over again,
Well,
do you think it's because of a lack of experience?
no, it's a lack of fucking trying, a lack of creativity, not understanding a woman's body before you try to slide in it. This is why Real Talk is here. We are here to help you, lackluster performing motherfuckers.
Hey, listen.
I may have been listening
I
too much
don't know.
Kendrick this past week.
We might put together. We may sit down and put together a book for you brothers that need a little assistance. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot of years of knowledge we got going on over here. Y'all don't understand. All right, we've been doing this. Okay, we are veterans. All right.
That's why they married for a reason, because said their women respectively said nobody else can have this.
Hey, listen. So hold on. Have y'all ever been in a situation? I gotta ask this because have you ever been in a situation where you said she won't come through or she wants you to come through, and she kind of souped it up like it's about to be you about to get something, it's about to be lit. She crazy with it, and then you got it and it was trash. What do you do about trash coochie? Like
That go back to creativity. If she don't know what she doing, you are the commander, you are the general of the fleet. It's always time. You talking about having conversation with us. It's time to teach. You gonna learn something today.
In the bad box, bro. Rotten box, just not. You can't.
Nah, if that joint funky, then nah. If she just don't know what she doing, or she just ain't had the right to teach her what taking pipe is about, then you gotta teach.
No, absolutely. I'm all about being the teacher, right? I'm about to help her graduate.
Right. Some of these dudes ain't out here teaching. So she's inexperienced because she was messing with inexperienced, non-stroke changing, lackluster pipe blades.
Bro, once I figure out to do all that, I definitely would have pulled that out. This would have been one. This would have been one, bro. 100%. That would have been one.
But we were just talking about it. Dudes who don't know how to lay pipe create chicks who don't know how to take bite.
Yeah, but it's not just about. So you get in that joint, it's all dry, feel like sandpaper.
I'm telling you, I've had a couple. I've had a few.
I never had sandpaper.
Well, not sand. Well, some of them don't know what's
God,
going on. Like I was
God
dating one
damn,
chick.
Rich.
I was dating one chick.
He never had no sandpaper.
She
That
was
shit crazy.
26. She was like 26, and she never really like she would have sex, but she was really just having sex for the guy. Like she never actually really came like that. Like just didn't. So after a couple times, she started. I was like, oh, that thing wet. I ain't even touch her yet. Like it's a whole thing. Like you got to realize, sex with women is psychological just as much as feel. Like your stroke game might not even be that goddamn good, but if she think you that motherfucker, you gonna come just because the psychological will. It's a compensatory thing with them. It's physical and psychological. So if
Yeah,
you have a
absolutely.
chick who just has dudes that just hop on and try and pound something out real quick, this and a third, she don't really like. Some chicks don't understand how to have an orgasm. Like it's women that teach other women, like, this is how you have an orgasm. This is how you have to. I dated one chick who was like, oh, she can only get off if she rises on top. So this whole time I'm sitting here slamming from the back. It ain't doing nothing for her because psychologically she thinks that's the
He
only
said
way
you
she
couldn't
can
tell me
get it.
that sooner.
Right. That she thinks that's the only way that she could get it. So I had to break her out of that. Like, there's more ways than that to really. She thought, okay, I gotta get on top. I gotta angle it. I gotta hit my little spot. I was like, okay, let her get a little thing going. And then after she came, then I went to doing my job. And eventually, her mind started to free up. Like, this ain't the only way that things have to go down for me to get what I need to get. So sometimes it's just trash box, or she's hard headed. But a lot of times, it's certain things ain't connected.
Yeah, but what if you ain't? You know what I mean? Some people just don't be feel like trying. They get in there with sandpaper super dry. You just like, you know what? I ain't going through this right now. I
I
ain't doing
mean,
this.
she
After a
was.
stressed out long day at work, you know what I'm saying? You try to get the happy
But
dappy,
see,
the
but it
water
has to be.
softener.
But it's also, is a chick worth throwing away because of that, or is it worth figuring out why? And I'm smart enough to know there's usually a reason why.
So just I'm gonna bring up one more subject here, and then we're gonna get out of here after this one. Would you sleep with a gay woman? A dyke.
With a gay woman,
Yeah,
a
she's a
dyke.
lesbian. A lesbian. A
Would
dyke.
I or have I?
What,
wait,
there's my answer.
wait.
There's my answer.
wait.
There's my answer right there. There's my answer right there. You ain't even gotta go no further. That's it right there. Here's the thing. Does it matter how it kind of matters how she comes at you, right? Don't come at me with with your jeans
It matter how
sagging
she
and
built,
a pair of
because she's
boxers
gonna be
on.
a girl at the end of the day when I get done.
She gonna come at you with her jeans sagging and a pair of briefs on, boxer briefs,
Let me tell you
Hey.
the most hidden secret in the world, in
and a
the entire
backpack.
world, Craig. The most hidden secret is some of these studs that like to get their back beat and like to feel a dude bust inside of them every once in a while.
Absolutely, absolutely. We
So
all know that.
so
But
as long as that thing right, you watch Big John and Lesbian Homie.
yeah, I watched that. I watched that. I watched that. We ain't
I
promoting. We ain't
try to
promoting though. We ain't promoting.
I would
We
try
can't
to
Look,
promote.
break each one of them.
look, I crossed the line with she's looking like Abigail off Last of Us 2. If I ever played her,
I'm
she's
just saying, she come at you. She got the.
I can't do it.
I ain't got my hat done. She got the fitted cap to the side. You know what I'm saying?
If
Jeans
she
sagging.
is
Got
cute,
the
she's
boxer
going to
briefs
catch
on.
this work.
Got a little baby
But
mustache
I'm saying,
coming right here.
I don't know
but
about
what
no
if,
baby
if her
mustache.
just saying, what if her
She
blend,
got the
what if
Will
her
Smith
fade
from Fresh
better
Prince
than
of Bel
yours
Air.
though?
What?
What if her what?
I'm saying, what if her blend or her fade is better than yours?
I don't care what the fade look like. You ever see Jada Fade? She a complete soft woman, and she got a fade, and I would break her in half if she gave me the chance.
I'm just saying, Shorty got the Will Smith Fresh Prince of Bel Air mustache. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if she got a mustache, she ain't cute.
And then don't be shaking that, because what if you shave that thing or you wax that thing? She might be fine as ever.
Hey, what did
It's just a
next
fact.
Friday say? Hey,
Like Samuel L. Jackson
really?
said, in Pulp Fiction, Arnold was one charming pig, but I don't mean I'm gonna eat that motherfucker. She could be charming as hell. She got a mustache. It's a wrap.
She
You
got
better
stabbed.
you better go get that waxed
Like
or
somebody would
nared
like it.
off.
Not near, bro. On the mustache, bro. Yeah,
Somebody gonna like
get
it.
Yeah,
You're right,
somebody
man.
gonna like it.
Somebody
It ain't
gonna
gonna be me. Hey, big girls need loving too. I'm just not the one to do it. You
Put
hear me?
near on the mustache. That's tough.
Something. She better work that motherfucker out.
Hey, it's just a little baby. It's a little fur on the upper lip, just a little bit, just enough to tickle you when you kiss.
You saying that now, but if you feel that Joe while you get some head, you be like, hey, what the?
That's facts. I can't argue that. And then hold on, when she roll up on you, she got the strap on already on too.
Well, that's gonna disappear for anything happen. That got it. I know you wear that so the girls can look at you, but yeah, that ain't you go in the bathroom, take the motherfucker off, and leave it in the bathroom. Because that motherfucker walk in the room, we're gonna have a disagreement, some furniture gonna move, it's gonna be misunderstanding.
That's beyond the disagreement at that point, right?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Sure, ain't no way sure you about to be like, yo, listen, you said I'll let you do you, but you gotta
nigga how to fuck.
Nah.
I tell her in a heartbeat. Look, I go home and beat off before that.
This conversation, you done walked in the wrong room. No, ma'am.
Right.
No,
walk back
ma'am.
out and walk in as a girl.
Bro, I seen a video. It was a transgender woman. Dude was flirting with her. He didn't know. It was a bar. He's tipsy. She was. Well, I don't think she was tipsy, but he didn't know it was a trans until she like took her legs off a bar stool or something like that, and you could see the indentation. Like he's like, yo, he's like, you could have said something. Like he was whispering in Shorty ear, all this other nonsense. Do you feel? And I think we'll all agree on this one, right? No hate towards them. It is what it is. Your life choice is your life choice. But do you feel it should be a law that states that they have to be open from the go with what's going on? Whether they pack it or not. Whether they used to be a man or not.
There should be, because I'm living in Langley Park right now. And it was years ago. There was one that she was trans, and this is like 2008, 2009 at the latest. It might have been before that. She's danced with the dude all night, and dude doesn't know. So dude comes outside, and he waiting around, talk to her, ready to take her home. And all his homeboys is like, bro, I think that's a dude. He's like, nah, bro. I've been dancing with her all night. Like, that's definitely a woman. Grinding up on her all on the dance floor. He finds out outside it's a dude. Step back. Bing. He's going to jail.
Yes.
And unfortunately, this person is known for doing that at this club. This was these guys' first time at the club. So the whole club knows what's going on except for him. So people looking around while they dancing and shit, he think, oh yeah, I got the baddest joint in here. Like everybody, and when he got outside, he realized like, yo, all these people knew what was going on. And this motherfucker just played me in front of everybody. Motherfuckers might be taking pictures and video. And dude snapped. And I mean, I'm not saying it's right to hit people, but when you get surprised with certain stuff, shit happens. I worked at Advanced Auto Parts. Little short lady. I swear she's about 4'8". Hair longer than half her body. and she will pop up out of nowhere and try to scare people. And she tried it on me, and I almost put hands on her. I tell her, like, yo, if you walk around the corner on me and surprise me, I hit first, ask questions later, because I'm not going to be the one on the ground. Needless to say, it was the last time she did that to me, but you don't know how people react. You can't surprise people with shit like that. It was the one that she got killed after she went home with the guy, and they was in the middle of doing whatever, and he found out. He grabbed his gun, he shot her.
Yeah, it's not only for the person you're talking to protection, but for your own, right?
Right, like you can't gauge somebody's reaction. You can't say what somebody's reaction should be.
They have defenses for them where you won't, like the dude that you say got arrested for punching the chick. You plead temporary insanity if you got a good lawyer, right?
All right, but that don't always work. And even if you plead temporary insanity, that's not that doesn't absolve the case. It just means that it's like, I admit that I did it, but this is why. But now, guess what? It's on your court records. Oh yeah, this person hit a trans person because, and then I could just go and look up, if I know the guy's name or I know the date that his court date was, I can look him up and see, oh yeah, he pled temporary insanity because he hit a trans person after a club because XYZ happened. I know. So you put something on the rest of their life that they can't just make disappear.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's how most crime should be. If you know, with the crime, you got to kind of deal with the punishment. And Zeke, I hope all is well, man. You're gonna have to watch this one back. We got into the Ravens a little earlier, but we trailed off to a real wild conversation here at the end of the show. We got a little real talk going. This is something I'm gonna try to do more often. Might not be every week, but it all depends on what's fed to me through social media and life, and just different instances I run into. That'll be what we talk about. But we've been in here for 1:40. Hashtag no 2 hours. So we're gonna get up out of here. All right. First and foremost, Mr. Ghost, we want to let them know where they can find you.
A6ghost.com. A6 Ghost on, what is this? YouTube? Because I damn sure ain't got no TikTok.
Well, that's going away soon anyway. TikTok will be officially banned soon. So, Mr. J, you want to tell them where they can find you?
J6 on everything I do, YouTube. Even though my show got a little cobwebs on it, but we'll be back. Gotta take care of my kids first. Readjust. Get it right with my family. However the court sees fit. Long story, I'll tell y'all later. But follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. You name it. Type in my name, everything should pop up. Again, sorry for the hiatus, but I will be back.
The boy's gonna be back. He's gonna be back. All right, I'm expecting a lot of content, sir. Expecting a lot of content. So before I even tell y'all where to find me, first off, make sure y'all hit that like button, right? Hit that like, share, subscribe. My other guest that was here that had to step out is Mr. Suge Knight. Y'all find him on YouTube, Suge Knight 323, on Twitch, Suge Knight 1323, where he does a show on YouTube. What are they calling it? Did they switch it to Steel Claw or
the Steel Claw Conspiracy?
Steel Claw Conspiracy. That's what we gonna call it. All right. If you know, you know. Check it out Tuesday nights. I believe he's gonna be coming back with his show on Friday nights, and he also does gaming over on Twitch. So check him out. Great content from these fellas on screen. Also, with football season coming up shortly, couple months from now, I might be back to doing the Thursday night streams during the Thursday night football games. We will see. I cannot guarantee it quite yet, but I might be doing the Thursday night streams as well as Big Boy Talk on Friday nights. So we will see what happens. Y'all let me know in the comments after the show, or hit me in the DMs. Whatever you got to do, find me. Let me know if you're interested in me doing that. Again, this has been another episode of Big Boy Talk. I'm your host, Big Reg. You can find me here on YouTube. Big Reg, BBT, Big Boy Talk. All right. You can find me on TikTok, Living Big with Big Reg, as well as Twitter, Living Big with Big Reg. And check out the clothing line, Etsy.com/Living Big with Big Reg. Y'all, thank y'all for coming through. We love y'all. It's been a great show. We appreciate y'all. And stay blessed. Peace.
Drizzy.